I'll introduce Coco as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Can you imagine?
Okay, hi everybody. My name's Wendy and I am the owner of My Three Cats, Cat Sitters.
I'm Eloise. I'm Wendy's daughter and also cat sitter of My Three Cats, as well as social media manager.
That is correct. And this is Coco, and we also have 3 other cats somewhere around here. Our other 3 cats are Billy, Ronnie and Reggie. So this is our first episode of our new podcast, which is called My Three Chats.
My Three Chats. It's taken on a bit of a upgrade from the blog.
Yes,
I'd say.
It has. Eloise started a blog earlier this year,
yes,
which is going really well. So we've decided to upgrade to a podcast or a vlog or whatever you want
it's
to call
very
it.
much a work in progress.
Yes,
it'll get better.
So the idea is that we've got quite a big following now on social media. So the idea is that we are going to address some of the questions that we get asked from both our customers and just anybody in general who has a cat. Because we do tend to get asked sort of a lot of the same questions, and hopefully we'll be able to give you some of our experience to help you solve any of your feline problems. And also just to tell you a little bit about ourselves and our business and what we do and how we can help you and your cats, and just basically talk about cats, which is our favourite subject.
It's all we do anyway, really, isn't it?
It is. Cats have taken over our lives very much. So just to introduce our business, My Three Cats is a cat sitting business. We're based in Warrington. I started cat sitting just by myself back in 2016.
Now.
7 years ago now. And that was it was just me at the time. I was working full time in a job in finance, and cat sitting was just a little extra side
hustle.
Yes, it was. And I live in the south of Warrington, so most of my clients were based in sort of Lymm and around that area. And it sort of instantly became quite popular through word of mouth.
Massive straight away.
I used to just offer 1 or 2 visits a day, pop in, feed the cats at home. Do the litter trays, make sure they were fine. And it was just an alternative to taking their cats to a cattery, which I had previously found that my own cats used to hate. They used to get quite anxious and stressed getting in a cat basket, going in the car, going to the vet. Obviously, you
just
sort of
being
can't
out
get
of
around
their
that.
own home.
And as cat owners yourselves, you probably know cats are sort of quite territorial. They like they like routine. They like their own home comforts. So going away from that can make them quite anxious and stressed, and sometimes on some occasions quite traumatized. So my own cats used to really have quite a difficult time getting back to normal. Sorry, Billy's going crazy. Come on, come on up here. So I used to take my cats to a cattery, lovely cattery. Looked after them. Nice. Looked after them really well. Absolutely no issues at all with the cattery. But because of the change of the environment, our cats, I'm talking years ago, before the internet or mobile phones even, they used to just get really quite sort of withdrawn, and they didn't eat very well. And obviously I'd go off on my holiday and there wasn't internet, or we didn't sort of hear from the cattery, so we didn't really know how they were. So I'd spend my whole holiday worrying about them, and then I'd get back and they'd be all sort of not themselves. So from that point, I was like, I can't keep putting them through this. So I used to ask friends and family to come to our house to look after. Oh, she's off now.
She's off.
Oh.
It's nice, like
Coco is like 17
Yeah.
and a very old lady, but she still has
she
a
still
little burst
charges
of
around.
energy. Sorry, I digress. So yeah, so long story short, my cats were much happier staying at home and somebody coming in to feed them. So this is where I got the idea to do this from. It immediately became really quite popular, and I became really busy really quickly. So within a couple of years, it had reached a point where I couldn't do it by myself.
No.
So I got a couple of other ladies to help me because I'd sort of, my customer base had seemed to have spread from Lim over to Sankey and over to Birchwood,
Really
and I was like,
Warrington.
I can't be in all these places and then go to work full time, and I was just getting a bit stressed out with it all.
It's too much.
So I had two other ladies to help, one of whom is still with us today, Kim. Who covers Birchwood, and it's steadily grown since then.
More cat sitters, more customers.
So yeah, fast forward to today, and despite the COVID lockdown, which obviously caused a bit of a blip, we came through that stronger than ever. So I've now got a team of 10 cat sitters, still growing. We've got over 250 customers, and we cover the whole of Warrington, from sort of Newton and Goulburn in the north down to Appleton, Daresbury, Moor, over to Sankey and Penketh, and then in the east over to Culcheth and Croft, and Lim, obviously, over that side. So that is our story. Eloise is my daughter.
Hello. I am.
Who has also joined the team. I've given up my full-time job.
I've given up my
You've
full-time
given
job.
up your full-time job. And yeah, cats are just taking over the world.
Yeah, that's all we do.
So yeah, and our feedback that we get is that all the cats that we look after are just, so much happier at home, just being able to do their own thing. They sleep on their same beds and they just poodle about, and we drop in and we send messages back to their owners.
Messages, photos.
Yeah.
They love it. It's so nice seeing people reply, because we have a chat feature which allows us to send messages and pictures every day, every visit.
Yeah, and we use an app which
called
is
Time to Pet.
Yeah.
And it's great. Like I say, we can send messages every visit with pictures and the new video update, which is great. You can send 20-second videos. But it also means that the owners can reply, they can send their own pictures. It's great.
Yeah, it's really good sort of interaction with our owners, and we become quite attached to our customers.
We do.
And their cats, obviously. So it's a really nice community. And we're growing. We're still growing all the time. So we're looking at expanding our social media just to sort of get the word out there, with the view to taking on more clients, hopefully, and more cat sitters. Yeah. So here's our opportunity to tell you all about it, tell you what we've been doing, and answer some of your questions. So I think we're going to do a series of...
we're going to try. This is going to be kind of like a trial run. I think we're going to do six episodes, so 6 weeks of this. They're only going to be uploaded to YouTube for now, just until we figure out any other way of doing it. If anyone actually watches and likes them. But like I say, it's constantly changing. We'll figure stuff out. It's a learning thing for us, isn't it?
We've got no idea what we're doing, basically.
Idea.
So just bear with us.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
Well, I thought we could go through just our week.
Yes, what we've done this week. Some of the cats we've been to see.
It's so nice.
Okay.
We've kind of...
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, we've kind of slowed down. We're out of summer.
Yes.
We're in a bit of a quieter period now.
We are, yes. Summer has been completely mad.
Mental.
And I haven't had time to do
anything
much at all apart from have a few hours sleep each day.
That's about it.
eat a little bit, and but yes, so summer was great, quite stressful at times, but with some better planning this year.
This year was a lot better than last year, and also just our team of cat sitters have been so great.
Oh, they have so been brilliant. Yes,
we're getting better at, how do I word this? Just that, because we've got so many areas to cover.
Yes,
we've got.
Basically, I would try and do all the cat sitting and nearly kill myself.
I've really been trying to make sure she doesn't, because it's too much for one person.
It is.
But like I say, our cat sitters are so great, and they've helped so much, and they're always there if something goes wrong or if someone needs help.
We've got really a brilliant team, and we've had a couple of new cat sitters this year as well, who are both great.
Amazing.
So I am gradually trying to step away from doing cat visits.
You're getting there. You're getting better.
As I don't want to.
Yeah, I know.
But as we've grown, it is becoming more and more difficult to do visits myself and manage everything else. So I have unfortunately got to take a little bit of a step back from the actual visiting.
Yeah, but we're getting there.
So we have been a lot more organised this summer, and still had an awful lot of visits to do. I think we've been doing over 200 visits a week over August, I think it was. But now we've gone through August. September was still quite busy, but then we managed to get a week off, so we've been away for a week, which was great.
That was really nice.
And so August, October is now quieter, so we've got time to do some more planning,
which is what we're doing.
So do
you want to go through who you've had, or do you want me to go through
you
that?
tell us what you've been doing this
I've
week.
only had 2 customers this week. I've had Roxy and Mimi. Roxy, who I only have to go in the mornings, only 1 visit a day, because she has like a food timer.
Okay,
so I'll give her breakfast.
I'm just going to get my drink.
Okay, you get your drink. So Roxy has a breakfast in the morning when I go, and she has like what's the word? It's like a food timer with 2 compartments. So she has another pouch of food at 4:00, and then she has another one at 9:00, which is like a
little bedtime snack.
Yeah, a little bedtime snack. And she's been so great. She's a really, really quite shy cat. Who you were looking after her before I took over.
And I never really saw her, to be honest. She was very timid.
She's so good with me now.
Aww.
She'll be at the top of the stairs waiting for me, and she'll give my hand a little sniff, and she sometimes lets me just a little scratch on her head. She does sort of run off and sit under the desk, but she doesn't...
Just watching you from afar.
She doesn't run away so I can't see her. And I'll just, once I've sorted everything out, litters and whatnot, I'll just sit on the floor, and she does sort of come out, and she goes around into the kitchen.
I love Roxy.
I know, but she's so lovely. So I've had Roxy, and then I've also had Mimi. We need to talk about.
Oh, I keep touching my microphone. Sorry.
So Mimi is a teeny tiny kitten, and her owner, Rachel. She won't mind me saying her name. Rachel. She was your first customer?
Yes, she was. Rachel was my first customer.
So would this been in
of
2016?
all times. Yes.
It's crazy.
I know, yes. It was over Christmas 2016, and I was looking after her older cat, Emmy.
Emmy.
So we were looking after Emmy from 2016 until this year.
Yeah, I think it was maybe April, May this year that we got the message we always hate seeing.
Yeah, that Emmy had passed away. She was quite old. Well, she was very old, wasn't she?
And she also had, was it larynx problems?
Yeah, she did. She had like a breathing difficulties. So she'd been ill for quite a while. So we kind of were half expecting it, but it's still very sad. Horrible.
I think I called you crying.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did. Because I joined was it last year I joined? Yeah. And I took over Emmy quite quickly, didn't I? Yeah. And I just fell in love with her.
I know.
She was so great. But yeah, Mimi.
So Rachel was so heartbroken, but also very lonely, and the house was very empty without Emmy quiet in it. That she, it wasn't long before we got a message to say that she'd got a new kitten called Mimi. And Mimi is like she's a little so tiny adorable. Emmy, isn't she? She's the same colours.
Yeah, white and tabby.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. Ooh. In fact, this is going up on Sunday. Tomorrow, Monday, there'll be a picture of Mimi up.
Oh yes,
so look out for that.
Picture.
Yeah,
she's so and Emmy,
and Emmy. Oh yeah, and Emmy.
We have
both
to
adorable.
Emmy. Yeah.
So yeah, they've been my only two this week. You've had
more than me. Yeah, I've had.
Let me make sure I get your list up.
I won't go through them all because we'll be here all day, aren't we? And obviously the other cat sitters have had.
Oh yeah, they've had theirs.
But let me just mention Woody, because Woody is a special customer.
Yes, he is.
Woody is an old gentleman, tabby boy.
He really is.
And he has got diabetes. And I've been looking after Woody for maybe was it before COVID? After
I
want
to say it was before.
Anyway, a few years.
Yeah.
And his owner contacted me to say that she was looking for a cat sitter because her cat had recently been diagnosed with diabetes, and she had to inject his insulin twice a day, every day, for the rest of his life at 12-hour intervals. And she
needed to find someone that could
her and her husband and her family were they like to go away. She was finding it really difficult, or even just to go out for a night. Hi, Billy. To because she was feeling very tired to having to be in at these certain times of day. So at that point I had not given insulin injections. I'd given tablets and obviously other kinds of medication. So I went to do a meet and greet with her, and we went through everything that Woody needed, and she basically gave me some training on how to give an insulin injection. And we have since been on a feline first aid course, haven't we? And I've basically looked after Woody ever since. So I go at roughly between 7 and 8 in the morning, and then again same at night. Give him his food as long as he's had his food, because he has to eat
the whole thing.
Make sure he eats well. And then he has his insulin.
And he's so good at having it.
He is the sweetest boy.
He loves you.
World. Yes.
He really loves you.
Well, I like to think so.
He does.
So yeah, I've been feeding Woody this week and next week as well.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Nice. So yeah, he's a good boy.
He is. He's lovely.
I know. I get very attached to all.
I think we all do.
Cats.
Speaking to the other cat sisters, they do as well. Yeah, you can't help it.
I know you can't help it because you sort of, especially when they're the kind of cat that likes company and they
want to sit on your knee,
and you can just be sitting there and and that's why it's really hard when they die.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Cats get old and die, and sometimes.
Yeah, I just try to think of it as, of course, it's sad, but especially doing the job that we do, we've been a part of their life, and we know they live these lovely lives, and they have lovely families, and
they do. Yeah,
it's nice to be a part of it. I think, even in just a little way. Yeah, that's how I try to think of it.
It is. Yeah. Oh.
Shall we move on to the new social media plan that's been started this week?
Yes, let's talk about that. Yeah. So, you tell us about that.
Well,
Mrs. Social Media Manager.
That's me. So, before we went on holiday, which was a few weeks ago now,
yes,
we were looking at the Instagram in particular.
Yes.
It was just getting a bit messy, really.
It's just our Instagram account is just basically me going, here's a cat, here's another cat, here's another cat that I looked after
just
today.
Looking at the profile, just random pictures of cats, which is great and I love it, but I just wanted it to be a bit more unified. And
she said it wasn't very professional.
No. Oh, yeah. So I came up with a plan, and I wanted to just make it look a bit more put together, let's say. And we also just wanted to get a bit more, what's the word? Engagement. We wanted to talk to people in the comments and get people's ideas and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, I came up with a plan for what to post every week, and I've been making graphics and trying to make it all pink.
Of course.
Because it has to be pink. And yeah, I think it's going really well. This week, just the first week, we've had so many comments.
Yeah.
People loved your story at the start of the week. They loved that.
Yeah, so we're trying to give you a bit of more of a insight into us and what we do, but also just stories about
cats.
Yeah, the cat mode.
Cats. But we also wanted to be a bit more. There's things that we want to inform our customers on.
Yes.
And the social media platforms are the perfect place to do that.
Yeah, so like we use an app for all our customers use, which allows them to they basically get like a little profile for each cat that they have, and it allows them to update it with food and medication details and that sort of thing.
It's also the place where they can book their visits. So it means that's basically everything is on there.
Yeah.
We
it's
don't
like
use anything else.
Yeah, it's like our little database, and customers' invoices are on there and that sort of thing. So we'll use our social media to sort of show you how that works well, and just basically tell you how everything works.
Yeah, it is though. Well, yeah, it's been going really well.
Yes.
I think people are liking it.
Yeah.
The comments seem to point it in that direction.
Yeah, I think so.
So we've won an award.
We've won an award.
We won the best cat sitting service in Cheshire.
Oh,
not just Warrington. In Cheshire.
Wow.
By the Lux Life Pet Products and Services Award.
2023.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I love that.
High five.
That's great, and I feel that means we can now call ourselves an award-winning cat sitting business.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. Nice ring to it.
Yeah.
So I think we need to win some more awards. Because obviously now we've won one. We should be able to win some more.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to dream big.
I know, yeah. So, that's that.
Yeah, to finish off, I put a post up yesterday, which is not yesterday you're watching. I put it up on Thursday. Just if anyone had any questions that they wanted to ask us.
Yes.
I wanted to have a little segment at the end of each podcast where we can answer questions. Because we find, like you said earlier, we find that people sort of come to us to ask things, and people might have the same questions and they don't realise. So this is a good place to answer them.
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay.
So on Instagram, the lovely Charlotte Fitch commented.
Mrs. Fitch.
Who is the owner of Stanley, Betty, Walter and Peggy.
Stanley, Betty, Walter and Peggy.
Although you always get confused with the order of how to say it.
Yeah.
Stanley, Betty, Walter and Peggy.
Okay.
It's got a nice ring to it.
I love those guys.
So, Charlotte asked, why does one of my cats, Walter, keep having a go at another one, Peggy?
Oh,
he's
Walter.
Horrible to her sometimes. How can I stop it?
Oh,
and
Walter.
I remember her saying this last time I went to visit, which can't have been that long ago. It must have been over summer.
Yeah, I remember this. Right,
so,
and we also have this issue, don't we?
We do have this issue.
So we have 2 girls and 2 boys. The girls are Coco and Billy. And the boys are Ronnie and Reggie.
Who are nowhere to be found.
Ronnie was here first and is very much alpha male.
Oh, yeah. He likes to be in charge.
Yeah, and then Reggie came along, who is not alpha male.
Not at all.
And Ronnie does not like that, and
No, he hates it.
He has a go at Reggie, doesn't he?
Yeah, so we also have that issue that we're trying to figure out.
Yes, so it's very much a work in progress for us as well. So my understanding of this is when you've got a group of cats like this, in the wild, cats generally do not live in groups, apart from lions, I think it is. All other species of wildcat generally are solitary animals, so they hunt on their own.
Yeah.
So it's actually not that natural for cats
to be in
to live together. Yeah. So over time, as they've become domesticated, we've kind of forced them to live together like this. And in general, most cats get along.
Yeah.
I would say most people, if they're truthful, haven't got cats who actually like each other.
Yeah.
They don't. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a cat, and I've had cats my entire life. I don't think I've ever had two cats that will actually cuddle up together and sleep together or and like each other that much. I know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But generally, all the cats that I've had, you know, they'll be in the same room, they'll eat together, but you know, they just can take each other or leave them. But occasionally you will get some that really don't get along. So my understanding of this is, if you have a group of cats living in the same house, one of them will establish themselves as like, well, the dominant cat. It can be male, it can be female. In our case, it's Ronnie, so he's the biggest male. I don't know if size has anything to do with it, but they decide amongst themselves who is in charge, and the others are sort of subordinate to that.
And I'd say in Charlotte's case, Walter probably is the alpha male.
Yes, he is. So Charlotte, you've got two females and two
same as
males.
Us,
so Walter will be the alpha male. Stanley is probably secondary to that. I don't know if that's correct.
No.
And Walter has decided that he's going to just pick on one of the others. And in our case, Ronnie has decided that Reggie is the one that he's going to pick on.
I don't know if it's also potentially, because obviously in our case, we had Coco first, and we got Ronnie, then Billy. Reggie came in last, so I wonder if it's Peggy that came in last for Charlotte.
Yeah, maybe.
So I don't know if that's got something to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's all very territorial, and they sort of decide amongst themselves, you know, and once they've decided, you know, that's it.
Yeah, they don't change their minds.
Now we aren't trained, you know, feline psychologists at this moment. All we can do is bring our experience, and you know, we've got lots of other clients who can give you their experiences as well. I can tell you what we've tried and what we've done so far. First of all, is to separate them.
Especially at feeding time.
So if, depending on how bad it is, I mean, if they're really having a go and fight, like properly fighting, it is best just to completely separate them into two parts of the house if you can. So keep them apart for at least a week. So they just don't see each other at all. They don't interact, and they have completely separate, you know, feeding stations. If they use a litter tray, they've got separate litter trays. Then gradually start to feed them closer and closer, and I think they say to feed them on either side of a door.
So they can
sense each other there, but they're not actually able to see each other. And then gradually introduce them back to each other, but at feeding time, so that they only see each other when they're eating.
I think I saw something somewhere as well, going from the door thing. I'm sure I saw something that said you could try feeding them on either side. Say if you've got glass doors.
Yeah.
So that
either side of a window.
They can't smell each other, but they can actually see each other, but can't get to each other. So that they can get used to seeing each other at feeding time, but know that they can't get in each other's business.
Yeah. Another thing to try is if one of them likes to be up high, like in our case, Ronnie likes to be up high.
Yes.
Reggie doesn't. So we've got the cat tree up there. We've got, climbing shelves, that sort of thing. Always provide an escape route for one of them.
We find that Ronnie tends to do that a lot.
Yes.
As soon as he realizes, Reggie's here, he tends to get up because he knows that Reggie won't get in his way up there.
Yeah, so just try not to make either of them feel like they're trapped or haven't got a way of getting out. So always make sure that there's like an escape route.
Yeah.
The Feliway plugins
that's great.
can be really useful.
Yeah.
We've tried the Feliway Optimal, I think they're called.
Like that,
that they seem to have a really good effect on ours. Catnip, either catnip sprinkled onto the beds or the spray. The spray is really good.
It's a bit handier as well, rather than sprinkling it everywhere.
Yeah. I don't know. Ours just seem to really like it, especially the boys for some reason.
Yeah.
It just seems to really like chill Ronnie out.
You can tell when he's sniffed a bit of catnip.
Yeah, he's like, wait.
We also had that catnip plant that you grew.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
he
catnip
loved
plant.
That.
Yeah,
Ronnie would roll around a bit in the plant.
yeah, he loves that. And
I think also something that we do a bit more recently now, Ronnie and Reggie they've gotten better than they used to be. We've found a bit recently. And something that we do when we notice that they're being, they're close together, they're growling and meowing at each other, but they're not actually fighting. Give them treats to reward them.
Yeah.
Because I think that sort of makes them think, oh, I haven't fought and I've got a treat for it. So I think that might help them. Almost kind of like dogs. Like you wouldn't expect that sort of link, but it has seemed to work with our two.
It's definitely got a lot better recently.
Oh yeah, just before we started this, they were both down there, this far away from each other, and Reggie was meowing at him. But I think it's Ronnie. Ronnie's not feeding into it anymore. He's just ignoring him.
Right. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise. Like man noise.
Yeah, but no actual.
But not so much
anymore.
Actual hissing. No hissing.
No hissing, just meowing.
Not really growling.
Just meowing.
And definitely no more scratching and biting.
No.
Not seen any of that for a while.
So, and we've had this issue.
Touch wood.
We've had this problem since we got Reggie.
Yeah.
Which was when did we get Reggie?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. And only now. So it is something that it's not gonna happen overnight. I think you have to be patient with it.
Plus, Reggie's had an awful lot of other issues as well, which hasn't helped. He has anxiety and all sorts of feline problems due to an unknown background.
Yeah, just no idea.
Yeah, that hasn't really helped, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that helps anyone in any way who are having problems with their cats. If anybody has got any other suggestions, feel free to
just comment it. And
but if anybody else has got any questions as well for us next week, we can talk about those.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of things that people ask us quite a lot. Things like how to introduce a new cat. Again, same sort of issues, I guess. Things like litter tray problems, like a cat not using the litter tray, or what other things do people ask us?
Cat flaps.
Oh, cat flaps.
Not liking cat flaps.
Not liking the
Don't
cat
use
flaps.
them.
Reggie again.
Yeah. A lot of these problems we'll have as well, and it's things that we're also facing.
Yeah. So, if you think of anything else that you'd like to ask, just comment. and we'll talk
try
about
our
it.
best to answer them.
Not got any answers.
No, we'll just.
But
give our
we can
advice.
talk about them, can't we? So
I think that's everything.
Yeah,
really.
I think that's it for our first episode.
Yeah.
Hopefully you've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And we'll bring you another one next week.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. Coco clearly has.
Yeah, Coco's enjoyed herself. She's been sitting here. Billy's fast asleep.
Yeah, she's not interested in anything.
I don't know where the boys are.
No.
But yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Yeah. And we'll hopefully see you next week.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye for now.